So what's up, folks? Once again, it's DJ Marvelous coming at you. I'd like to talk to you really briefly about a really interesting book, a real interesting concept from a book by Malcolm Gladwell, and he calls it the 10,000 hour rule. And meaning, to become great at a task, you have to put in a minimum of 10,000 hours to truly master that skill or what have you. And it equates to my childhood because, when we were young, we did all the typical hip hop stuff at the beginning. We were break dancers, we DJs, we tried to rap, we even tried graffiti and so forth, right? But it's all out of love, So in keeping with that, we eventually moved towards trying to form a band. So most bands understand that, after you get the equipment, you have to find some place to practice. And so what we did was at our house, we had a small house, bunch of people living in the house. But we had we didn't have a basement. It was, we called it a basement, but it was really a cellar to our house. And we ran some light down there, real, the furnace that heated our house was down there. It was blowing soot out of it, and the floor, part of the floor was dirt, and nobody had been down there for years. So it was rather not a good place to kind of hang out. But it was the best we had. So we took some drums down there, some percussion, some keyboards, and a couple of older guys that really kind of were teaching us the music. They bought the guitars and the amps and all that stuff down there. And we were kind of happy. We were happy with that. And from putting all that work in, right? My brother, who became the only real musicians other than the guitar players, he became the only real musician out of the whole thing. And I like telling that story because no matter how bad the circumstances, my brother, when we moved out of the cellar situation, wherever he could find a place to rehearse or practice his craft, he would go and find a place and do that. So after the cellar situation, he moved the drums into our van that we used to use to haul our equipment around. Summertime, wintertime, dead of winter, he'd be out in the back with tapes. I've already said this on a previous video, so please forgive me. But he'd take those drums out there, he'd put a tape in the tape player, and he would play along to the music of all type of genres, rock music, jazz music, go-go, mainly go-go music. So he got his timing down from practicing in that van. So in my mind, I think that he really put his 10,000 hours in, or something like his 10,000 hours. And it really helped him get his chops together playing the drums. So I just always found that if I have a criticism of current society, not just young people, but current society, is that we don't have enough patience. You have to sit down and grind out whatever it is you're trying to get good at. And it's not just 10,000 hours of random practice. You're gonna screw up some stuff, but 10,000 hours of dedicated, structured practice. Like I have friends that are comedians, friends who are dancers, friends who are artists, DJs, rappers, singers, all that stuff. And I am 100% that most of these guys, they really put their work in. They put their 10,000 hours in, and it paid off because the people that I'm talking about are working artists in their field and in their craft. And there's no other way around it. You got to put the work in. You got to put the 10,000 hours in. And I think you'll reap benefits from that. So thank you for listening. Once again, if you want to check out further content, check me out on HTD Media 703 on YouTube, HTD Media 703, or check me out on Instagram, DJ Marvelous 703.